So I got the frame rails pretty much welded in Uncle Sam, and now I'm trying to figure out where the center of my front wheel is going to be. And I've got a million people I could ask, but you know, right off the top of my head, I was like, oh, I'll just ask Dennis. So I called Alex's dad and asked him how he used the laser level, and he said, you know, shoot it through the center of the axle and then, you know, run it through the center of the axle. Laser will tell you where it's going to be. So I went and bought this self-leveling laser deal and a tripod. Tripod was only 30 bucks. Auto level was $200. So it ended up being like $246. But to make sure that this car is straight and everything is literally laser straight, small investment for a great payoff to make sure that Uncle Sam is as straight as can be. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to pull the axles out because Uncle Sam has a floater in them. So yank the axles out of it, set the laser up, kind of get a gist of where, get an idea of where the front spindle is going to be, where the front strut's going to be. And then I'm going to go, I think I'm going to bolt the junk block that we have in it, slap some heads on it, put my headers, the turbos, all that stuff on, so that way I don't run the down bars or any of that stuff right through the center of where the turbo was or is. So that way I don't have to end up redoing the whole hot side and all that. I don't think they're not going to throw off or make the bars go somewhere they're not supposed to be because the bars are already there at one point. So yeah, I'm going to put all that stuff in place now so that way I don't run a bar right through, like I said, right through where it's going to be and really screw myself over in the long run to where it takes twice as long to do everything because I keep putting stuff where other stuff already is. So gonna try to save myself some time there and some headache and bolt some stuff up temporarily to where it gives me kind of a reference of where everything is, and then that'll help me also know where everything needs to go. So slow but steady progress, putting in a few hours tonight, and we're gonna keep on keeping on. What you got going on here?
We got lasers and stuff going on now. Getting real technical and fancy with it.
That thing there?
I guess.
How do you know that that thing is level and square?
It probably tells you. If I had to guess. Does it tell you? I don't know. Guess?
It's self-leveling.
Oh, even better. Even better. Fancy little doodah.
But right now I got to take that center cap out and pull both my axles out. So that way I can shoot this thing directly through to make sure my rear end is completely square both ways, or at least square this perfectly with the rear end. I just made sure that the rear end was actually level with the chassis table. As you can see here, as I get under here where there's no light. Sorry for you guys at home that can't see anything. Moo Moo, can you help me out with a light?
I'm already on it. Maybe.
Phone's probably dead.
No, there you go.
Okay, so this, I measured it off of, I used this thing here and tried to go off the bottom and here, and it actually says that is pretty much level there, but then when I hold it down here and make it straight, what the hell happened? There's literally, oh, maybe my level's not straight because this says level that way, but if I flip it,
It's pretty level. Oh no.
it's not level. Well, we're just gonna go with the level side. Well, because this one says level, And this one says level. Oh, I hope Mick doesn't watch this video. Or Dylan.
You still gotta take off the tires and bolt everything else.
No, I don't have to take off the tires. It's a floater. I can pull the axles out without taking the wheels off. All I gotta do is take 4 little bolts out and the axles come right out.
That's true, right?
Perks of having a floater, bud.
Yep.
So axles are coming out. I'm gonna level my laser, my fancy laser deal I just bought, and then after that, I'm sure it'll get kicked tomorrow, so I'll have to start all over again. But at least I'm basically just practicing what I really need to do when the strut jig that my buddy's sending me, he's actually on our YouTube channel. He messaged me and said he had a strut jig from Tim McAmis, and he is shipping it to me so I can use it because he's done with it. He used it for his car and he says he has no use for it, wants to help me out. He's shipping it to me, so when that gets here, that's kind of what that is exactly what I'm using this laser for. And I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just trying to get the gist of everything to understand what I really need to do when it comes time to do the deed. What?
So I'm sure we'll figure it out somehow.
You got a laser on you, bud.
I know. It's probably not good for my eyes.
That does look pretty freaking cool. Look at all the laserness. My truck's got a laser on it. Whoa, that's got a laser on it. Watch this. This is where my front wheel is going to be right there. See that right there? See that laser right there? That's where that's where my wheel's going to be. Lasered up, boy. Don't call it laser tag. What I thought was going to take me 1 night is now taking me 3 nights. This is what's taking me 3 nights. Welding these bad boys pass after pass, but letting them cool down and not getting them too hot. I mean, see how much heat that's already got in it? That's with me letting it cool with like between hours. But that's just putting a lot of heat in my actual weld itself because I'm weaving it. But all my plug welds have 2 passes on them. This joint, both the main frame rail joints, have 3 passes on them each. So all the plug welds are done, the main joints are done. This has 2 passes on it, and I actually ground it down and beveled it so that way I could really get into my sleeve and then weld that up since it's such a long cut. But yeah, boys, frame rails are officially completely welded. Everybody thinking that, oh my gosh, you spent 3 nights welding 2 joints. Yeah, I know. That's just what it takes to do it right, because in your head you always think it's gonna go way faster, but it doesn't, because you can only weld so much, keep gas coverage, keep the heat out of it, weld so much, and then the whole tube's hot, everything's hot, and you've got all these plug welds, you've got so many passes you got to put on it, and chromoly gets very brittle if you get it too hot and don't keep gas coverage. So I'm just trying to make it nice and do it right, because I don't want to do this again. I don't want to crash again, but I don't want to have to re-weld it because I screwed up the welds. But I'm happy with how it's turning out. I got my laser set up. Got the laser set up, but I still got to take the axles out and whatnot. But I've got the laser now. I've got the rear end leveled. And those are officially done. Those are literally what the whole last video were of, is those right there. But those are done. I went and got my mid plate. I'm gonna cut my mid plate mounts out. I'm gonna assemble my tubing bender and then make a bar that goes around, and then two braces that go to that. So that way the mid plate's way more secure than it was, because you can see there's only that piece of angle, that piece of angle, and then these 2 little front tabs holding it in, which is not enough if I want to go as fast as I want to go. So I'm gonna put some more support on that, sturdy it up a bit, and then yeah, once that jig gets here for me to put up here and I can set that with the laser, we gonna be in business, boys. For tonight, I got my turbos, my headers, some junk heads, steering rack, And I've got a junk block over there I'm gonna throw in this thing once I remake the mid plate mount. So that way, like I said, I can know where all my bars are gonna go. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go in and relax. That's like 3 or 4 hours tonight, boys. I'm just racking them up. Let's go. I'm trying to get this thing done. Mr. Brunner's car running. All our vitals are good. We only had one mishap where we forgot to put plugs in the bottom of the intake, so I just pulled the intake top off and welded them shut instead of pulling everything back off. And now she's running good. Thing sounds good. We're getting ready to go for the maiden voyage with the old Brunner mobile, the old Brunner Batmobile, but it's not gonna stay Batmobile for long because he's going to peel this plastic dip off and go back to the, if you can see this factory blue color, that is honestly super awesome. See that blue? I love it. Sorry, I'm trying to get better with not moving my camera around so much. It's just, I get really excited when I'm videoing and I keep walking around and showing everybody stuff. But so this setup, to run down over it again, is a 402 cubic inch stock block deal stroker, stock 317 heads that have been ported. It's got a BTR 388 plus cubic inch turbo cam, Athena head gaskets, ARP studs, LS7 lifters, BTR springs, Holley race sniper, Holley HP EFI, Holley sniper throttle body, just like a factory water pump and billet speed alternator. It's got a Force Performance 106 millimeter billet center section.
Wait, how big?
106 millimeter for the people in the back.
Woo!
Dual ball bearing. It's got a hooker log set up, 3-inch hot side, 4-inch downpipe, 4-inch blowhorn if you ask me what it's called. It's got our Mac travel. Look at them boys. Mac travel, so it's got I think it's a 20-inch shock on it. 16 or 14-inch springs. It's got 10 soldier coilover kit in the back. AFCOs. Power Glide, Precision Industries converter. That's about it. And now it's got a Nickky Bobby tune in it. So we're getting ready to take this thing out. I gotta say that the blowhorn that big is growing on me. I think it's because I just kind of polished the pipe. It looks a lot better. It's got an on 3 6-inch intercooler and it's running on E85. So like I said, me and Moo, I'm gonna drive it. He's gonna hold the laptop. We're gonna go through some low, like literally no boost pulls. No, you don't get to drive it. And then, yeah, we're gonna go through some low boost stuff, maybe put a little bit of boost to it, make sure it drives good, make sure everything's working right. It's got a, forgot to come back here. It's got an Aeromotive 10 GPM in-tank deal, nitrous Dave relay board setup for the pump. And then Austin Shepard, our buddy, he wired the whole car. Here is the wiring panel that Austin made. It looks killer. You got our solid state relay there, some other relays for the fans, all of our terminal strips, arc panel, some more terminal strips for inputs and outputs. Got a stereo, got an old school tack in it, arc panel. These seats, when they were sitting outside of the car, I looked at them and were like, those things are hideous. But now that they're in the car, I'm like, they don't look too bad and they're super comfy. Got that Motion Raceworks CO2 and Mac valve kit. So yeah, we're getting ready to go take her on a maiden voyage. I'll try to stop shaking the camera and moving around so much. And we're gonna go make some hits, boys. So I got a flip. We had this thing set up to do dome pressure control, but with the way we have the trans brake set up and the HP, it doesn't have enough inputs, outputs with the way it's wired up. So we're just gonna do open loop duty cycle, and I gotta flip a couple of the wires. Now let's see if our boost solenoid works the way I want it to. Oh, I gotta unpin an ECU at the moment. Stand by. Not doing what I wanted to do. Stand by. We got our boost solenoid issues figured out. I ended up just changing the solenoids because the way they were back feeding to each other. We had the same thing on Colt's car. Put a single solenoid on it, problem fixed. Now it just made like 4 or 5 pounds on the brake. I didn't even hardly have to do anything to get it to make that. So now we're gonna go make some boosties and just roll into it. Straight the steering wheel is. made it back from our maiden voyage, boys. She's still got oil pressure. I just put it on the brake like 3 times and it only got up to 204, but it was about 195 the whole time we were driving. It barely got up to 195. Drives straight as an arrow. I'm pretty happy with it. Can't put that on the channel. Brunner's gonna go put his car on the chip for the first time. Are you ready for the chip?
Oh yeah, we're ready.
Let me turn your CO2 on. I can't reach it, you gotta do it. No.
I got it.
It's easy to reach from over there.
Yeah.
I'm just too big.
Ready to rock.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Yeah, boy. How's it feel? How long's it been since you drove your car? 6 years.
5.5 maybe. Great.
Oh my gosh. All right, stop right here. Put her on the chip. You even hit the bump. You can just turn left out of here, and we can go down a little ways and then make a hit and come back and pull in here. I always just pull in here after I make it hit, in case there's any cops. Yep. Once you get it pointed in the right direction, it's pretty straight. Yeah, you go one more. Look how quiet it is in here.
Turn here.
Yep.
If I can make that corner.
Oh yeah, you can. You just gotta know where you're going before you go there. Let's see if we can wait for a few cars to get by and turn around and do a trans brake launch. Oh yeah, we're good after this car. tried to pedal and then walked away to the left. I don't even remember where I'm turning. Green sign. This one? No, green sign up there. What's your consensus?
It's fast. I was not ready for that one.
Hits us in the rear on the way home. They get a shoot in the face. That thing just idles so smooth.
Yeah, it's messy.
It should open. Bye-bye!
Having a time!
Do burnouts and wheelies.
We'll miss ya. Only been here for like 2 years. Don't get to see that car parked out back anymore.
Okay.
No, we only have like 13 others now.
Oh, crap.